Welcome, beautiful ones. Thank you for joining me at Sacred Sync. This is a series that I've been doing. It has kind of transformed into something that's not being done. This is about identity shift. Okay. So remember here, this is not a space where you're going to give your power away. Okay. Sacred Sync is where we alchemize the old patterns that are running, right? That we are either conscious or not conscious of. Uh, and then we're going to alchemize it into our new identity, our identity that's always been there, but has all this noise. Okay. So here, tarot is not fortune telling. Okay. It's frequency work. It's what I do. Okay. So in other words, these cards are not going to tell you what will happen. Okay, if you're looking for that, then this is probably not the video for you. All right. We are past that. That is Neptune uh, in air in Neptune in Pisces and Saturn in Pisces. That's a different thing. That was the last 14 years. We're not doing that. Okay. This is something different. This is where we're headed towards. Okay. So these cards will mirror your frequency, the old pattern, the old frequency that you're carrying, or the frequency that you're carrying now. And together, what this is about is that we are going to transmute it through alchemy. Because, yes, if you know me, if you see me, you are an alchemist. Okay. I will help you remember that. Just watch my videos. Okay. And we're going to transmute it through alchemy into the self that you already are. It's your true identity in this lifetime. It's the true identity in this lifetime, but it's without all the noise. Okay. It's the one that isn't held back by the culture, isn't held back, or it hasn't transformed because of or yeah, the genetics, your culture, where you live, society itself. We've got all this noise of what we believe, but our true self knows. Okay, so this spread is going to take us on a movement, on a journey from the old looping into the true identity through alchemy and into the rooted home frequency that you are. Okay, so what I like to do is a declaration as a group, and this sort of puts us into that. It doesn't put us into, it's like we are aware of our focus and intention. Okay, so just you can put your hand over your heart. This is somatic. When I ask you to do this stuff, it's like helping your body accept it. Okay, so take a deep breath in and just listen to what I say, soak it all in. We are the ones who decide. We are the ones who shine. It's already ours, always has been. We live as the wholeness of light and shadow, of spirit and body, of love and power. We choose joy over urgency, resonance over hustle, and expansion over contraction. Every step we take is already aligned with abundance, always has been. Every day, in every way, we choose to let our abundant self lead. And so it is. All right, my beautiful ones. I, as usual, have already shuffled the cards. So I'm going to cut them in front of you. And then the first position is what I call the frequency mirror. And this is a spread that I came up with myself. Okay. So this frequency mirror, this is where your identity, this is going to mirror and show us the identity that's been looping for us, the one that's showing itself in physical reality, because our frequency is just on autopilot and looping. Okay, so this card mirrors the frequency you've been living. Okay, the identity patterns that's been running. Now, let me say this. We're not naming it so that we trap it, so that you're trapped in it, okay? Because you already are subconsciously not even thinking about it, okay? What we're doing is we're naming it so that we can alchemize it into something new, okay? So, here we go. What's that first card? Now, we have gotten this card several times. It looks like we're still on the journey, but this is really good, okay? So, Um, we've gotten this card when I was doing the other type of tarot before I did this one, like just weeks ago. Okay. So, and the other thing is, bear with me. I'm learning this as much as you are. This is a new thing that I have sort of put out, but it doesn't flow. So even my, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years of tarot, I have habits that I have to kind of undo, and I'm seeing it through a different lens. Okay. So bear with me. I'm learning here with you too. My channeling is the same. I still channel the same. It's just I'm going to see it through a different lens. Okay. All right. So this Six of Swords, our identity that's running. This is so important that I'm getting. Oh my gosh. Okay. What I am seeing is that the loop that keeps running is that we are on a journey that is like, oh God, I'm seeing it in so many ways. Hold on. We keep thinking we have to strive to get through the journey so that we can get to the place that we want, right? That's what keeps looping. That's what keeps showing itself to us, right? We understand we have wisdom. We are beginning to understand that we are supported by the universe, by life itself, but we keep doing the warrior's journey. Do you see these swords? That's the warrior's journey. Aquarius, we are understanding that we do it differently, right? We are understanding that we are not alone. That's what's been looping. But what I'm seeing is that you still think, I got to keep moving. I got to keep going. I got to keep alert. I got to make sure and maneuver. I got to anxiety about this. I can't do it that way because I got to do it this way. Like you're overthinking it, but you're also feeling like you're not done. Okay. That's a loop, an old pattern of I gotta strive more, I gotta do more, I gotta produce more, I gotta get through this phase. I gotta, right? And while that helped us through our journey, we are no longer there. Okay. But it keeps repeating. So, how many of us, all of us, keep having things come to us where it's like the same thing over and over, and we are realizing it, right? We have wisdom, we're seeing the light, we've come through all of this stuff, we're wiser, but we're still, it's almost like if we do not get to our center self, we are going to repeat more layers, more tragedy coming, more toxicity coming, more enlightenment that I got to get through this and I got to understand and I got to da da da, right? Like that's what's running is like I'm wiser, I'm older, I've been through a lot, but if you continue, you're going to keep going through it. That makes sense. It's an old pattern. It was so helpful. The warrior is who we are, part of who we are. We are just not, the warrior is not needed right now. The true identity is needed. Okay. The warrior will never go away, right? But it is leading when it's not time to lead anymore as the warrior. Because if you're a warrior and you're leading as a warrior, what are you going to do? All you're going to do is be fighting battles. All that's going to come to you is battles and toxicity and things to overcome and things to like get through. Does that make sense? Now, the second card is your true identity without all the noise. Okay, this card is going to reveal the self that already exists, the identity beyond the fear and the dependency. Okay, this is going to highlight and illuminate. It's the illumination of you that doesn't need fixing or proving. That's this right here that you're doing. Fixing, proving, overcoming, warrior. Right? Now, this, your true identity, it doesn't need fixing or proving because it already is whole. Okay? So, what is that card for us? I love this card. Look at you. This to me is 0 point energy. This to me is like a blank slate all the time, and I just fill it. I draw it. I imagine it. I create it. Like and with it is like I almost to the outside world would seem naive because it reminds me of Sagittarius energy, which I'm a Sagittarius mood, but it reminds me of Sagittarius energy. You know, Sagittarius, you're like, you're, why are you doing? So you'll say that, like you'll watch a Sagittarius and you're like, what do you mean you're going to take a trip across the world and it's in like 2 days? And they're like, yeah, no problem. And they're just going to do it because they have adventure and they have to go see. They have to experience, right? That's what Sagittarius is about. Where Gemini is about researching it, Sagittarius is about experiencing it. Okay. I guess I'm giving you that for a reason because this is the embodiment. I want the embodiment of your whole self understands it's childlike, it's adventurous. It's like it's got the Sag and the Gemini in it. It's got all of it in it, right? It's got the wisdom, and you're always your true self is always at 0 point energy and just how do I say this? Knows to look in a direction and then it unfolds for him or her. It unfolds for you. That's who you are. You're magic. Like there is something I think we forget because we're on such autopilot. But when I see that there is true magic with us as humans being able to take from our imagination or from the ether or from the other side, whatever you want to say, from other dimensions, you take that and you bring that into reality and then it unfolds in your life. So to take something that you imagined or you saw and then to bring it into your real life and make it, I'll give the example of Elon Musk, right? A long time ago, he saw, I'm going to make rockets. Well, everybody else was like, there's no freaking way. He's like, I'm going to make rocket. And he did. He took from what he saw and made it reality, made it physical, unfolded in his life. It's like that energy. It's like, I just see it. I want it. It will happen. I don't even want it. I just see it. It's for me. It unfolds. That's the Fool. That is, I create what I want. Where this is, as I'm creating war and strife and overcoming because it feeds my ego to be able to take, be in the most destitute and drastic situations and overcome that. And that was good for that part that you wanted to do in your life. You are no longer there. That is strife. That is struggle. That is war. This is, I get to create whatever I want. And right now, I'd like to see this. And it has nothing to do with me having no resources, no backing, nobody helping me out. It's who I am. Does that make sense? Okay, that's a difference. There's a difference here. This one is about overcoming. This one is about just being. Does that make sense? Okay. So, the third position. So, in order to stop running this old pattern and begin beaming, this is lighting up so light. When you light this up, the other old patterns will fall away. That you'll be so you're letting this lead, not this lead. So your true self without all the noise. Okay. But how do we do that? We know we got to get from here to here. How do we do that? Right. So how the old identity dissolves so that the true one just beams. Okay. Again, we're not going to take anything away. It's always going to be a part of you. You've always been a warrior. You always will be a warrior. You're just letting it lead. And for maybe a time in this life, you had to let it lead. But that's no longer the truth. If you're watching me and you're watching my videos, that is not where you're at. Okay? Where you're at is dissolving all the noise. Okay? So, this next card is going to show the alchemy at work. How the old frequency transforms when you choose to live as your true self. Okay? This is the path of identity shift. This is where the shift happens. Choosing alignment in the moment instead of looping the old story. Okay. We're choosing the alignment in the moment. Time is irrelevant. Okay. It has some factors if you believe it. I believe it's instant. Okay. Moment. We're in the now. Science has already proven we're in the now, right? Not tomorrow, not yesterday. Okay. Time is irrelevant. Okay. So what is this card that can help us alchemize from here to here? Wow. Wow. Okay. I think it was what I was saying. When you understand I can live in the world and it unfolds and supports me, and because I am my true self. We had this card the other day, but I am seeing it a little different. Like, I am not bigger than the world and I am not smaller than the world. The world is me. I work in the world, right? So, yes, old patterns are going to be happening, but you are the world. You can change that immediately. You can stop the pattern. You can change the thing, and you can connect with, you already are connected, but focus on this part of identity that you are. The world comes in like, phases, right? And the sooner you understand that the phase is working with, like, I'm on a journey, and I've got to overcome, that is going to continue to happen. But to do it with the world, look at this, look at the magic she has. You have to understand your magic. You have to understand your power. You have to understand, um, how to co-create, and you will know because it is within you. Okay, the answer is not outside. So, like, what I'm saying is, like, a decision or a situation comes about for you, right? And you automatically know, and your old pattern is going to say, well, I've got to overcome. But your true identity, as these things come about, as these situations come about, as these people come about to you, if you're like, no, that's an old pattern, I'm going to do it this way, or I don't have to overcome anything, it's just going to open up for me. Like, it's your belief system. So, you, the way to alchemize from here to here is your belief, your understanding. No, it's not your understanding. You already understand. It's your belief. It's your knowing. You have to practice. No, not even that. Sorry. It's your knowing. hmm and trusting yourself. This you doesn't even have to trust themselves. They already do, right? This you doesn't have to, like, work on anything, right? But the way to alchemize from, I have to work on something, I've got to get through something, I've got a journey, I've got to, the way life is blah 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 blah, whatever you're telling yourself. When you understand that you are the world, that life supports you and unfolds around you, and that it's about the excitement and, the creation itself. Like, what is your dream? What's your, and we call it, what's your dream, right? But that's what you are. Your true self has something to say in this world and want to experience in this world, right? So the way to alchemize this into this is your belief. I keep saying understanding, but it's not. You understand already. It's your belief. It's your working your magic as it comes. Um, Changing the perspective that it's not always against you, that it's, supporting you, that, and I mean, if you need science, go look at how we collapse a wave. Go read about. I mean, there's plenty of science behind what I'm saying. Um, Belief is a big thing, um, And that reminds me, I'm making a class to shift. I'm making a class about. I mean, I don't like the word manifestation, um, but it's like that. It's that being the true you. Okay, so that's just a side note that I was just thinking about. It's like I'm thinking in the back of my head, this is why I need to have this class. So anyway, it's like um, see this Saturn. It's like um, being responsible with your own energy, being responsible with yourself. Um, and here's what I'm seeing with Saturn. This is interesting. In the full, this you doesn't see it as a challenge when you're tested. You see it as, let me test it out. I bet that would be cool. Let me see what happens. Oh my gosh. Normally I would be afraid, but I don't need to be afraid. Let me see what happens. Let me try it out. Let me risk it a little. Right? Like that. That's the world. That's shifting from here where, oh my God, I'm being tested again and I must overcome this to, hey, let's test this out. Let me test it out. Let me see what's going on. Let's see how it unfolds. How exciting is this? My magic is gonna show. I'm gonna show my magic. I'm gonna show how this works. That's different than this. Okay. So as the world is happening and you're co-creating with people as well as yourself, keep change your perspective is what I'm seeing. Change the perspective from I have to overcome to it's exciting and let's see how it unfolds. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope that makes sense. Now, this fourth card is root is how you root this frequency, how you root your identity, how you have it lead. Okay. So this card shows how to anchor it, how to shift so it doesn't slip away. Because your true self, I know that your true self has had glimpses where it led in your life. Okay. I know some of us can be dramatic and say, but it's always been a challenge and it's always been a blah, blah, blah. And it's always going to do, and it never happens. And yes, we can be dramatic and say that, right? But our true self, if you look back in your life, there are times where you're like, how the heck did that happen? Not even what I was thinking. That was some great news. Oh my God, my this shifted my life and it's so much better. Blah 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 blah. Right? So I'm sure there have been instances. Some of us, a lot of instances. Others of us, not so many instances. Okay. But there have been instances, and this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm being shown and told, where your true self was leaking out, where your true self was leading for a moment, for a phase, for a little bit. Okay. Okay. So that's how I know you know it. You know this frequency. It is you. That it is you. How do I say this? It is the identity that you are trying to have lead in this life. But how do we root it? How do we keep it constant? Right? Let's see what this card is. That is transformation. Okay. The death card. Isn't that appropriate? Okay. The transformation of continuing to let go. I wouldn't even say let go. Focus on this. Changing your perspective. Letting the tower moments come. Don't be afraid when a tower moment comes. Rejoice. Have fun. Be excited. Almost be delusional a little bit, right? About like, I mean, I've already been through the worst. What more can it be, right? Like, let's just go. I'm excited. Let's see what happens. I'm so excited. I've done it this way for so long. I want to do it this way. Does that make sense? So, the way to root is to be adaptable, to not be afraid, to change your perspective from time to time, to because learning and growing and wisdom, you have that already, that you've been working in that. Okay, it's the adaptability, it's the way to root this is the adaptability, the transformation, the change in perception, the how do I say this? Like the perception that you are the magic, that you are love, that you are magic, that you do collapse waves, that you do and can and will take from the other realms and the other um, dimensions and your inner wisdom and create something that's physical so that you experience it. Does that make sense? That's how you root this, by having that childlike. It's not the warrior because you are the warrior already. It's like that childlike. It's almost like when you're. I know it's gonna sound. This is the only thing that's coming up. When your child is like gonna uh, go towards something dangerous, and you're like, no, don't step like that because you're gonna fall or something, right? Or hit yourself or something. Like you see what can happen, but they don't. They're like la la la, and then you're surprised when it doesn't happen, right? Because you thought I was going to say when it does happen, you're like, there you go. No, you're surprised when it doesn't happen because you're like, how the heck did they do that and not get hurt, right? But you got to kind of let them do that as you're like hovering over them a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, right? It's the transformation, it's the adaptability, it's the childlike enthusiasm, it's the true you that always is, right? But you need to understand. No, you need to root yourself in adaptability, in transformation, in change in perception. And yes, everything that you know is true. Okay, let me just say that because the change in perception is going to be a big thing. Everything that you know is true. It's already been proven to you. Okay, you can overcome. You can do blah blah blah. You can't. You all of it. It's true. But no, not but. And that's true because that is the old pattern that's subconsciously running for you. That's the frequency you've been on. There are other frequencies. There's other frequencies. There's other ways. There's other lenses. It's just like what I'm doing here. The way that we've done tarot up until this point is this card means this means this, and then I can channel, and then I can see, and then I can go into your space, and I can predict, and blah 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 blah, all of that, right? I am adapting. I am seeing a different perspective. I have to consciously go through a different lens instead of the old lens that's the old pattern that wants to continue because that's normal and that feels safe. Okay, does that make sense? The change in perspective. All right, my beautiful ones. Let's do a mini activation so that we really anchor this and feel it and set it into our body, okay? I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Just think about everything that I've said. I know I've said a lot. Feel your breath. Steady. Full. You're alive. Imagine your shoulders dropping. Imagine your jawline softening. Your jaw softening. Now, see yourself as the you who has already stepped into abundance, into peace, into joy. Okay, and that you, notice how they move. How do they speak? How do they breathe? It's you. It's you. So let that feeling take root right here, right now in this moment. All right, beautiful ones, remember, this is so important. You are not bound to the old frequency. We're not. We're not bound to that. It's just a subconscious thing that's been running. You are the alchemist. You're at 0 point energy. That's your true self. Okay? You're the alchemist. You transmute fear into sovereignty. You've done that so many times. You can do that for this as well. Longing into remembrance. And patterns, you can change that into power. Okay? That's what we do here. Because why? That's who you already are. All right, my beautiful ones. Until next time, love you, love you, love you. Bye.